I'm here with Susan Pollard and Gabriela Diaz. The first thing I want to do is ask, what is Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America? What's the purpose of your group?
So the group is a grassroots organization to work hard to prevent gun violence in all sorts of ways, to support survivors of gun violence, to get legislatures work towards passing sensible gun laws.
Well, I just came to have this, I guess you'd call this a memorial for the folks who perished at the site. And I just want to thank you all for doing this. I think more people need to see what's happening. What's your thoughts at what happened in Uvalde?
I think I was in the pickup line about to pick up my daughter who was in the same grade as these students. And I've been a teacher for 16 years. So I think that for me, it was experiencing things from many angles. And I think that what you're saying is right, that there's a whole kind of generation of adults that are really detached from what students are having to practice every day, what teachers are having to practice.
When you say that, are you talking about your kids in school having to do the drills?
For sure. I mean, nobody here tonight did a drill for something that would actually happen. Like my mom hid under a desk from the Russians that never came, but our students see that these things happen and they see that there is no change happening. So that's what our group is about, is we're demanding change because this cannot be a new reality for the United States.
I hope not. Susan, now the legislature is about to end. I think it's the last days on Monday. And they had various bills that they attempted to pass. There are a couple of them that I know you were excited about. It seemed like we were going to get the 21-year-old. Right. What are your thoughts as far as how we are being represented, not only locally by our local folks, but nationally? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's an ongoing frustration because they're not actually representing their constituents. 80+% of all Texans, as well as people across the nation, want sensible gun laws. People feel it's reasonable to do things like raise the age to buy an assault weapon from 18 to 21. They want background checks on every gun sale. They want these things to keep us safer, and our legislators, even when they hear from constituents, aren't passing those laws that do keep us safer.
So what can your organization do to incentivize them to do that?
Well, we certainly work to organize to make sure that the legislators hear in clear ways that people do want those. We get the word out to make calls when bills are coming up. We keep an eye on those bills so that there is communication about what people want. We also, Moms Demand Action is part of Everytown for gun safety, and Everytown designates candidates as gun sense candidates who are in favor of sensible gun laws. And so anybody voting can go to the Everytown website and find those candidates.
Now, what I find a lot of times is organizations like yours, you do a lot of the paperwork and you follow the bills that are occurring. Are you eventually going to become political in the way of saying, well, the way they voted this time around was wrong. We are actually going to put up a candidate that we know is going to get the job done.
In every single election since I've been part of Moms Demand Action, we've had Texas moms running. We have a whole program called Demand a Seat. We are training students because they are just a few years away from being able to represent themselves and their fellow students. So if we don't have lawmakers who are willing to replace irresponsible laws, we are very ready to replace those lawmakers.
And you do have actions to work on finding candidates that will fulfill that need.
And candidates should be people like Susan and me and you, because that is what representative, democracy is all about. So we are electing moms as well as lawyers. We're going from the school board all the way up, every part of the ballot, because we are done with the inaction that we've seen in the Texas legislature.
Now, Susan, what would you want to tell those that are listening to you right now? How can they get involved with your organization? How can they get involved politically, as Gabriela was just talking about as well? What can they do?
Well, if they're looking to get involved with our organization, they can text join to 64433, which gets them in the Moms Demand Action Network and connected up to the nearest group to where they are. Moms Demand Action works very locally. We're very involved in our specific communities. And if they want to get involved politically, once they're a part of our organization, if that's a good fit for them, we certainly, during legislative sessions, educate all of our members about what bills are coming up. We have a team of people within Moms that work on the legislative issues.
Susan and Gabriela, thank you so kindly for speaking to Politics Done Right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.